4 o'clock next week, the item will be called or the vote will be taken at 4 o'clock?
I think the item will be called and there will be a process. So it will be a process, so, yeah.
So we're calling the roll for the Tuesday, June 17th, 3 p.m. meeting. It is now 3:22 p.m.
Can we turn the clock back so we started on time?
Yes, we are starting on time. Ms. Gallison's
done.
Is here. Ms. Garcia?
Present.
Is here. Mr. Kaiser?
Present.
Ms. Ratliff?
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Zimmer?
Here.
Is here. Dr. Vladavic?
Here.
Thank you. Board members, we have a public hearing. I have a statement. This constitutes a public hearing on the district's local control accountability plan and the final budget. A maximum of 30 individuals who wish to address the board will be heard. Speakers have already signed up. I have a list. I will call up the first speaker, Renee Hunter. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Renee Hunter, and I'm an incoming junior at Roosevelt High School. I am here representing Inner City Struggle. I am here to express my concern on the $13 million that is being allocated to school police. As a student who fought for the passage of School Climate Bill of Rights, I feel that putting more money into an unsupportive learning environment that we fought to change is taking away from the resources that I as a student need to thrive. School police are going to receive the original base money regardless. Why not put the extra money into something that can truly benefit more students than school police can? The benefits that come along with investing resources into restorative justice policies is that students are not treated as criminals but as actual students. This way we can actually feel like we're learning in an environment that will support us through the tough times. LAUSD spending this money on school police instead of restorative justice makes students feel unsupported and criminalized. In order for restorative justice to truly work, we need the district to invest resources into more restorative justice counselors. School police does not make me feel safe, nor do they provide me with the support I need to graduate. Restorative justice counselors support students with resources and advice, even provide a safe space. Restorative justice counselors will change a student's mentality from being criminalized constantly to being supported constantly. Most importantly, if LAUSD wants to ensure students feel safe and supported on campus, investing millions of dollars in school police is not the way to go. As a student, I do not feel I do not need more police officers on my campus. What I need are resources that support me as a student and do not criminalize me. If anything, LAUSD needs to invest millions into services that create a safe learning environment where students can thrive and graduate. Investing the proposed $13 million into restorative justice counselors simply makes sense. The passage of School Climate Bill of Rights was a huge step forward for LAUSD's commitment to providing a safe learning environment for all students. Now we have the opportunity to put actual resources into making this happen. Students are counting on you to put resources into supportive programs like restorative justice that support students. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Speaker number 2, Anita Gustafson.
Welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Anita Gustafson, and I'm a special ed assistant. I'm working at Silmar High School. I have been working with LAUSD for the last 24 years. And if I could give myself a job title, it would be self-esteem raiser. I give children a lot of attention and encouragement. I always talk to them about what is good about them and make sure they know how important education is. I have many stories of children whose lives have changed. There wasn't just a girl who used to run away from teachers and supervisors. No one wanted to work with her. After the years I spent with her, she ended up in mainstream classroom, and she was very independent and self-motivated student. Then there was a boy who was always getting into fights. I spoke to him with a lot of respect and show him that I really care about him. He graduated this year and he's going to attend Mission College. Finally, there is a boy who never wanted to do any of his work. I don't have to because I don't need to graduate it. I'm going to sell fish like my grandpa, he used to say. I explained it to him that even to sell fish, he needs to know some math. We found out he was really good in algebra. And that changed his mentality completely. Now he's headed to go to Mission College to learn how to open his own restaurant.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
I work with a lot of very dedicated people. One coworker almost lost her home when her hours were cut. Her husband also works for LAUSD as groundskeeper.
Thank you very much.
We have to cut you off because the time's up. That's okay.
Our
You
next
did a great
speaker,
job. Thank you.
Gabriela Barbosa.
Good afternoon, board members, superintendent. My name is Gabriela Barbosa. I'm a former LAUSD teacher, now education advocate at Public Council. Public Council is a member of several coalitions that have worked throughout the school year to ensure that foster youth, English language learners, African American students, and the students at the highest need schools receive needed investments under LCFF. We are also part of the LA chapter of the Dignity in Schools campaign, and today stand with DSCLA to request that LAUSD commit the supplemental and concentration funds to prevention and intervention that will transform school climate and help students succeed. First, we want to thank the board and the superintendent for hearing from the community about our concerns and making revisions to the LCAP. With regards to school climate, we are very excited that Superintendent Daisy and his staff have added comprehensive metrics to more completely capture school climate. These include monitoring tickets and arrests, especially for racial disproportionality, examining non-academic transfers to option schools, and other important indicators regarding PBIS implementation. Our request to fund the LA School Police Department from base funds is about staying true to the promise of LCFF. We have a unique opportunity to make investments that are proven to help our most vulnerable students succeed. We believe that these to be PBIS coaches, RJ coordinators, as well as the mental health, educational counseling, and academic intervention professionals that we know our students need. With regard to English learners, we are very excited about the $7 million increase in supplemental and concentration funding allocated to English learner services for the upcoming school year. English learners have some of the worst academic deficits of any student demographic in the district. Supplemental and concentration funding is essential to ensuring that these students succeed in the district. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Elmo Carlos Gomez. Thank you.
Mr. Gomez, welcome.
Board members, my name is Elmo Gomez with the Community Rights Campaign. This is a rare time in education. After many years of devastating budget cuts, we have an opportunity to restore the inequalities created, which has overly burdened our teachers, administrations, and students, specifically our youth of color with this LCFF money. The district has included youth and community more than ever. Before this year, something I believe board members and LAUSD staff say that we are proud of. But now that there is finally some money to work with, it would be a step back to spend significantly more on school police than a new restorative justice initiative. It was great to hear from Superintendent at the last hearing that restorative justice is one of the district priorities and may receive some more funds. We believe that there is much work to look forward to. Community Rights Campaign is currently working closely with Chief Zipperman to reduce the arrests and citations for young people. We believe this is a strong partnership and we are close to having something strong in place to address the civil rights concerns that we've been raising with the board for several years. With the momentum happening, It simply does not make sense that school police would receive $13 million for their role on campus, even if it was for restorative justice training. But for implementing the entire restorative justice program, the district only gave $2.5 million. It doesn't add up, and students and community members are frustrated and disappointed by this contradiction. Let us use LCFF to build a foundation of support for youth, one that will grant them the ability to grow and learn. This means real investments, training for our teachers, our counselors, our administrations, and equipping our schools with health advocates, social workers, and RJ counselors. This requires not just change in culture, but a real plan of action towards the protection of all students that shows real equality. This can be done by redirecting...
Thank you very much. Can you conclude?
It's sad.
Goes fast.
Our next speaker, Cindy Domas.
Welcome.
You have 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm here with the Community Rights Campaign, and earlier this year I was fortunate and completely humbled to work with students and teachers at a high school in South Central. It was one of the most rewarding experiences, but also troubling because it opened my eyes to the various issues within our education system, and that is the lack of access to resources and the dehumanization of our students. I saw teachers desperately managing large classrooms where they had no other option but to kick out students they found disruptive. The students would be sent to the dean or get caught up in tardy sweeps where they were either suspended from the classroom or from school or sent to do errands for staff instead of learning. When I spoke to some of my students who continuously got kicked out, they would open up to me about how they were distracted because they were worried about the month's rent, or they were having a baby, or they were depressed and suicidal. These were huge real-life issues my students were dealing with that I'm not a trained psychologist, but I would try to counsel them as best as possible and then refer them to the school's PSA, which was really new. They were hired full-time this last semester, and they usually had never heard of them. After the sessions with the PSA, their behavior shifted. If they acted out, they knew exactly who to go to and how to advocate for themselves. It wasn't a quick fix, but they felt supported and were able to focus more in school. I worked with only a small group of students at this high school. I can't even imagine the amount of therapy and support the rest of the student body needed, the rest of the students in LAUSD need. But I do know that the type of care, learning, and counseling they require isn't going to be provided by the school police you're planning to give more funding to. What will really help students and teachers are more restorative justice programs, more academic and social-emotional counselors, art classes, and other electives. They need and they want funding to shift to $13 million for restorative justice and school-wide positive behavior intervention support. They want $49 million for counselors and supportive staff and no supplemental concentration money for school police. I highly urge you to reconsider and make the changes to help create a positive school climate for our youth in LAUSD. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tohida Shakur. I'll get that.
He'll pick it up. Welcome.
Hi.
You look nice. Thank you.
Thanks. Whoever said that. Okay. Hi, my name is Tara Shakur. I'm a youth organizer with Youth Justice Coalition and a recent graduate of Crenshaw High School. And I still have siblings. A recent graduate of Crenshaw High School. And I still have siblings and friends that go to Crenshaw. And I'm afraid the conditions I talked about in LAUSD meetings will still be occurring, like in-house suspension. For y'all that don't know, in-house suspension is when a bad kid is placed in a room where there is no talking. You have to look at a wall all day. And on rare occasions when you're allowed to go outside from being in a room hidden from society all day, you have to wear a vest of shame to distinguish between the good and bad kids. This isn't a way a child nor a human being, a child nor a student or a human being should be treated, for that matter. If there were peace voters in our schools, they would talk to students. So there wouldn't be a good or bad kid. There would be a student like it should be.
redirect the $13 million of LCFF funds from school police and into restorative justice practices and peace builders and individual workers and continuation school. I'm wearing this cap and gown because I want to show y'all this with peace builders and restorative justice workers. This is what schools would look like instead of handcuffs. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Very good.
Laura Aguilar.
Welcome.
Okay, hello. Hi, Superintendent Daisy. I want to let you know I rushed here from school because I know how important this is, but this is a lot, and there is a lot of young people that have work and have to go to school and could not be here today.
Can you say your name again for the record? I'm sorry.
For the record, I'm Laura Aguilar.
Great.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm a senior at Manual Arts High School and a student leader of the Community Rights Campaign. I'm speaking on behalf of the Brothers, Sons, Selves, and the Dignity in Schools campaign. Yesterday, I had the great opportunity to stand alongside important community leaders, U.S. Congressman Tony Carnadas, L.A. County President Judge Michael Nash, and UTLA President-elect Alex Caputo-Pearl to urge LAUSD to spend our LCFF equity funds on increasing counselors and support on campus, not maintaining the school police budget. These leaders and many of the school boards here today also stood with us to stop the harms being caused for Black and Latino students through truancy tickets. Now we are at another critical phase in this movement, and we urge the board to side with students and community again to support the students in need, such as foster care youth, English learners, and low-income students. We are calling on LAUSD for educational justice, which means our equity funds bringing in new supports and increasing counselors and restorative justice programs, not funding what is already the largest school police department in this nation. The Dignity in Schools campaign, Brothers, Sons, Selves, has 4 demands for the LCFF equity funds. First, we urge LAUSD to redirect the $13 million going to school police to restorative justice and to fund the true promises of the School Climate Bill of Rights. 2, to increase the local control for counselors, social workers, psychologists, and other supportive school staff. 3, to increase specific focus on supporting Black students and making sure they are not treated more harshly. And 4, to make sure teachers and staff have training on implementing restorative justice, school-wide positive behavior intervention support, and improving school climate.
Thank you so much. Alberto Cáceres.
Okay, you can have these two, sir. Thank you. Hi, my name is Alberto Cáceres. I'm a youth organizer with the Youth Justice Coalition. In the 1600s, the Puritans believed that children were born with the devil. The Massachusetts Old Saint, the Luther Act of 1647, established first public school systems. They believed that children should be raised in an atmosphere of fear, strict discipline, hard work, and a strong knowledge of the Bible to delude Satan from them. In the 1800s, the nation's first well-known state secretary of education, Norris Mann, argued in 1837 that public education goals are to create an industrial class of women and men who obey the law.
Well, people, here LAUSD goes again. Jeez, I'm surprised it lasted this long this time, because on the last meeting, I couldn't even watch one person finish. Oh, I'm not connected to the internet. Okay, so we got to restart, because that's about the only way to get it reliably. So